Traveling is not an easy feat to pull off, but when you're the leader of a whole country, you can travel anywhere in the world under the most comfortable and safest conditions. Of all the world leaders, Kim Jong Un probably has the most unique mode of transportation. The supreme leader of North Korea has access to luxurious transport vehicles, which he uses from time to time, but apart from the luxurious vehicles in his fleet, he is also known to have odd traveling traits. Here's a look at how Supreme Leader Kim Jong Un travels. Kim Jong Un's travel history. Since he was appointed Supreme Leader of North Korea in 2011, Kim Jong Un has made international visits only 9 times. His first visit was to China in 2018, and since then he has made 3 other visits to China, 2 to South Korea, and 1 visit each to Russia, Vietnam and Singapore. Kim Jong Un rarely ever leaves his home country, but when he does so in luxury, style, and in the most unusual transport vehicle for the leader of a country, Kim Jong Un's personal high-security train. Unlike other world leaders, Kim Jong Un's preferred mode of transportation is by train, much like his father and grandfather. However, that's not the craziest part. This train is not a super train that travels several hundred kilometers an hour, but rather a slow-moving train that maxes out at barely 40 kilometers. Most of the international trips the Supreme Leader has made were by private train, and some of them took several days. Although speed is not its forte, the train is fortified with high security features. It consists of 90 fully bulletproof carriages. Kim's carriage is positioned in between other carriages, which contain well-trained military personnel and deadly weapons in case of emergencies. Also, the position of the Supreme Leader's personal carriage is unknown, which is another security measure to reduce the chances of assassination while he's en route. In addition to the number of military personnel on Kim's private train, another support train follows closely behind, containing even more soldiers and weapons. This might seem like a lot of security, but there can never be too much security for someone like Kim Jong Un, who has a great fear of being assassinated. Kim's train may have been passed through 3 generations of North Korean leaders. However, it is updated regularly with the latest kind of technology and luxury. After all, if a whole Supreme Leader spends hours on the train, it must be extremely comfortable. The train's interior is decorated with fancy materials imported from different countries, and the furnishing of his private carriage alone costs well over $2 million. In the Supreme Leader's private cabin, you would find silk sheets, shag carpeting, cotton and wool cushions, locally embroidered curtains, chairs and tables made from mahogany wood, waterbeds, and even a tank filled with piranhas, and many more. His private cabin is linked with a well-equipped kitchen where gourmet meals are made with foreign ingredients like imported cheese, wine, tuna, and whatever you can think of. Besides Kim Jong Un's private carriage, the train also includes a compartment for leisure and relaxation. Pictures of the train's interior are not publicized for security reasons. However, people who have had the privilege of seeing it in person have so much to say about the degree of luxury on board. This is probably one of the reasons the Supreme Leader travels almost exclusively by train. The Supreme Leader's official plane. We have established that Kim Jong Un owns one of the most comfortable trains in the world, and although it may seem like it, the private armor train is not his only transportation vehicle. The North Korean Supreme Leader also has a fleet of aircraft at his disposal. In North Korea, he has made several local flights with his private jet, but the first time Kim flew internationally was on his first trip to China. The plane that conveyed him to China was a wide, long, 4-engine aircraft called the Ilyushin 62 or Il-62. This luxury plane was made specially in Russia and is the same one President Vladimir Putin uses for his international journeys. There is not much to see in the plane's exterior, except for North Korea's official name written in Korean on both sides, with the national flag next to the text and a red star encircled in red and blue circles on the tail. Il-96 is also fortified with communication systems, laser anti-missile protection, and a couple of other security features. Unlike his train, the plane's interior is modestly furnished, but that doesn't mean it is void of luxury. The overall tone of the aircraft is centered around beige and brown colors. with other design elements that reflect the supreme status of Kim Jong Un, as well as the beauty of North Korean culture. There aren't many pictures of the plane's interior. However, most pictures taken of Kim on the plane show him working or having board meetings. Apart from having a conducive work environment, the Il-96 was also built with technology which links the supreme leader with his office back in Pyongyang whenever he's on board. This way, Kim Jong Un can make important political decisions, attend online meetings, give orders to the military, and carry out other political responsibilities while being thousands of feet above the ground. While the plane is almost entirely used for work purposes, there have been pictures showing the supreme leader indulging his cravings while en route. For example, Kim has been seen smoking on board, relaxing in reclining seats, or eating professionally prepared meals. Talk about mixing business and pleasure, private jets and helicopters. Apart from the train and official aircraft that the supreme leader takes on official visits, Kim Jong Un has a personal collection of aircraft. His father and grandfather were known to be averse to aircraft after watching one blow up right in front of their eyes. However, it appears that Kim Jong Un doesn't share this feeling. The supreme leader has been seen alone at the controls of an An-2 military biplane, a military helicopter manufactured in North Korea. He was also seen on another occasion using a Ukrainian Antonov 148, leading to speculations that Kim Jong Un has picked up an interest in flying. In 2015, Radio Free Asia spotted a new helipad at the supreme leader's lakeside villa in the South Pyongyang province, yet another addition to his fleet. Some experts assume that this helipad is used by his family members or to carry visitors in and out of the premises. Although Kim has been seen participating in this new interest on a few occasions, it is highly unlikely that he flies any of these helicopters past the training grounds. However, it is expected that he owns at least 2 helicopters, which he takes for a spin every now and then. The luxury car rides. Kim Jong Un is known to take inspection rides around his country, especially in the state capital, Pyongyang. Sometimes he uses his train or a public bus. On occasion, he uses some of the cars in his fleet. He mostly uses his executive limousine, a Mercedes Maybach S6000. This ride was purchased at the beginning of Kim's rule and cost 2 billion Korean won, equivalent to $1.8 million at the time. The supreme leader has been seen locally and internationally in this executive limo. When he's not cruising around in his executive limo, Kim Jong Un rides in a Mercedes-Benz S-Class, which he has owned since 2010. This vehicle seems to be the leader's favorite, so much so that he carries it with him on his train or plane when making an international visit. For example, on his visit to Beijing, Kim almost exclusively used his favorite S-Class to take a tour of the city. The car was also featured during the Inter-Korean summit at Panmunjom when he drove across the border between North and South Korea. Whatever car Kim rides in, it is sure to be a luxury vehicle that offers usual comfort like comfortable seat, TV screens for entertainment and work purposes, and even a personal bathroom in case nature calls while he is in transit. His security is also taken care of by the bulletproof features of the car and advanced technology systems, and this one is quite unusual. But there is a human motorcade surrounding his car at all times. This sight was first seen publicly during the peace talk with South Korea as Kim Jong Un arrived at the venue. His S-Class was surrounded by 12 bodyguards who were dressed in matching shirts, ties, full suits and dress shoes. These bodyguards surrounded the vehicle at all times, and they seemed to maintain a certain formation even while running at the pace of the moving car. Judging from the coordination between the bodyguards and how easily they performed this task, it was obvious that they were already used to it. The mystery yacht. The North Korean supreme leader hasn't been seen officially cruising the sea or any other transportation medium besides land and air. However, North Korean media has released a couple of pictures showing Kim on boats, a submarine, and even a yacht. It is unknown whether he owns any of these. However, it wouldn't be so crazy to assume that all the boats and yachts he has been spotted in belong to him. After all, other world leaders seem to have one of these. Back in 2013, a North Korean news news channel spotted Kim Jong Un visiting a fishing station run by the army, and a luxury yacht was spotted in the background. This mystery yacht was estimated to cost about $7 million, and even though there is no confirmation that the supreme leader owns it, there's no known person in the country who is rich enough to own a luxury yacht. If it does indeed belong to Kim Jong Un, the question to ask is, how was it imported, since there is an international sanction against the importation of luxury goods into North Korea? Maybe the yacht be built using the country's resources on the supreme leader's orders. That wouldn't be far-fetched, especially since there's a lot we do not know about Kim Jong Un and North Korea. The North Korean supreme leader has strange travel practices, some of which we've already talked about, but there's more. For example, Kim Jong Un insists on bringing a private toilet along with him to all his travel destinations. This has nothing to do with cleanliness. Rather, it is done for the sake of secrecy. A former member of the North Korean Guard Command Unit told the Washington Post that Kim's excretions contain information about his health status, so they can't be left behind. This is even weirder than traveling in slow trains or with human motorcades.